Hi everyone, this is Mr. West. Today we're doing a Kuta worksheet tutorial on arithmetic sequences. Let's go ahead and just get right into it. It's asking us to determine if the sequence is arithmetic. If it is, find the common difference. I like to think of common difference as the change. So I'm going to circle this, and I like to call that the change. Now later on, we're going to note that change is synonymous with the slope, okay? The slope of a line, the change, the rise over the run. Okay, let's go ahead and look at our examples. So here we have 35, 32. What you're going to do is each time you can just, again, they say common difference because what you're going to do is you're going to find the difference between 35 and 32 and then the next term. Here we see that that's minus 3, and we want to see if it's consistent, if it's minus 3 each time, and it is. So determine if it's arithmetic, yes, and then find the common difference, and we see that as minus 3. Next up, minus 3, minus 23, minus 43, minus 63. Well, how is it changing each time? Well, we're subtracting 20. Subtracting 20, okay? Subtracting 20. This needs to be the same each time in order to be arithmetic. So in this case, this one again, yes, it is arithmetic. And the change is common difference is minus 20. Next one, we see that's minus 30, okay, minus 30. So this is another yes, and the common difference is minus 30. This one, we have minus 10, minus 10, minus 10. Again, same thing, minus 10 is our common difference. Yes, it is arithmetic. This one, minus 2 each time. Okay, yes, it is. And this one, I'm trying to see if any are not. This is plus 5, okay? They're all arithmetic. Moving on, given the explicit formula for an arithmetic sequence, find the first 5 terms and the term named in the problem. Okay, explicit formula. No, we're not talking about swearing here. We're talking about a slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. Okay, that's what it's talking about. Now, with y equals mx plus b, that's our explicit formula. And the reason why it's explicit is because we don't need the previous term as recursive formulas do. Recursive formulas, you need the previous term to find the current term. In this case, we do not. So m is our change, our slope. That's what I was talking about earlier. M is our change. Okay. Now, normally in an arithmetic sequence, we're talking about the first term and the second term, and so on. But in this case, our y-intercept is going to be our 0 term. So this is going to be our 0 term. Okay, that's the deal with explicit. Okay, if you want it in slope-intercept form, explicit, we're talking about the 0 term. So it's asking, first find the first 5 terms. So in order to find the first 5 terms, that's a lot harder than it says, than it seems. We're going to use the explicit formula, okay, given the explicit formula. So we see this is in slope-intercept form. That would be our 0 term. So the 0 term is negative 11. And then the change we said is being multiplied in front of the variable x. So it's plus 7. So we're going to add 7 each time. Plus 7, plus 7. Okay, so I want the different purple. So we have the first term here, plus 7 would be negative 4. The second term here would be plus 7. That would take us to positive 3, and so on. So we'd have 3, that would be 10. 4 would be 17, and then we'd have 24. So it asks for the first 5 terms. There we go. And then it's asking us for a of 34. Well, with explicit formulas, it's super easy. We just plug in to our formula. Okay, hold on. Let me backtrack here a second. I'm going to erase this and pause if you need it or rewind, but I'm erasing it because I need some more room. Okay, so in this case, if we're looking for 34, we're just going to plug in that 34 for n. So we have a of 34. Okay, you often see it like this. I think that's better personally, but this particular worksheet's doing a different notation. That's fine. Okay, and then just plug in 34. Wow, I wish I had my calculator on me right now, but I don't, so I'm just going to have to do this good old-fashioned way. 21, was that 23? 238, negative 11, plus 238, and that's going to be my 34th term. In this case, it's 227. Okay, just double check that real quick. I don't want to put a wrong answer on YouTube, Okay, so it is 227. Yeah, it's 227. Okay. All these, that's what you're doing. You're just going to first find the first 5 terms. You're going to plug in 1 for n. You're going to plug in 2, 3, 4, and 5 for n. That's what you're going to do. And then you're going to say, okay, I'm going to plug in 39 for n. And that's what I'm doing. Okay, that's all there's to it. I want to go over the common difference and find the arithmetic sequence. Okay, find the first 5 terms and the explicit formula. Okay, so it doesn't give us the arithmetic formula, but it wants us to find the explicit formula. Okay, so it just gives us the first term and the common difference. That's our change. So before we talked about change, this is our change here, essentially our slope. So if we're talking about y equals mx plus b, each time you see that d, that's your m. Okay, so y equals, or in this case a, I guess you call it, right? I would write it like this, a parentheses n, function of n. And then our change is 10, and we're put that, I'm going to put an n instead of an x, okay? And then it gives us our first term. So I always like to go backwards. So if we know this is 28, the common difference is 10, so we're adding 10 each time, 38. And then I just go backwards to the 0 term to find it. I think that's a pretty intuitive way of finding it. Okay, so there's 0. I'd go backwards. So in order to go backwards, I do the opposite of add 10. I subtract 10. So it's 18. So I'm going to add 18 because it's a positive 18 as my 0 term. And there is my final answer right here. Okay, now let's go to another one just so you can get the hang of it. Okay, again, our common difference. Do we really want to do that one? All right, let's do it. So our common difference is negative 100. That's going to be our slope. We're going to put that in front of n. And then negative 38 is our first term, so we got to go backwards. Sorry, I meant to put this. This is my first term, negative 38. My second term, I subtract 100, negative 138. So I would add 100 to get to here. So you add 100 to this, and that's the same thing as 100 minus 38. So that's 62. So I'm going to add 62, and that is equal to a, and that's my explicit formula. Okay, that's my explicit formula, and I'm done. Okay, so that's all there is to it. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you need more, there's even a second page on this. Let me know in the comments. I'll be happy to do it for you. Otherwise, check out some other videos. Leave a comment if you want something else covered. But either way, I look forward to seeing you on this channel right here called Wes Explains Best. See you soon.